Hello, everybody. Got my little friend here with me today to do Sebastian Rogers video. This is Luna. She's a full-blooded Jack Russell Terrier. She's got a lot of energy. She's very hyper. Um, so we want Sebastian found, don't we, baby? So, um, this morning I did a video, and I think the night before last, or the night before that, I did one out of real frustration because, you know, I do apologize for the the vulgar language that I was using, because I was just so, I mean, there's just so much anger in me towards CP and KP that it's just unreal. But I apologize for the words that I used in making the video, and I hope I didn't offend anybody. You know, that's obviously not my goal, is to, you know, I don't want to, you know, a lot of people goes to church and stuff, you know, and it probably was not the best idea to just go off like I did the first two videos. This one, I do apologize for that, but the one thing I do not apologize for, and I never will apologize for, is my belief in this case. And I believe that CP and KP hold the key. I just do, and there's nothing that can be said or done that can change my mind. And in fact, not even the Sumner County Sheriff's Office could change my mind. You know, I just, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office to me has been a complete and utter failure in every aspect. I'm hoping, and I'm having faith, you know, I know that Seth's telling the truth, but I'm hoping, and I'm just praying that they're not trying to play a fool's game with him, because there's just nothing about that sheriff's department that I trust. Nothing. I mean, it looks like to me it's part of the defunding the police, maybe. I don't know. Obviously, I hope that would not be the case in defunding the police, because I don't support that shit. The goal is finding Sebastian Rogers and getting the word out there all over America, all over the world, because I'm still believing he's alive. And due to the fact that she was part of the military, there is no telling where he might be, in my opinion. Dog the Bounty Hunter, I do got 100% trust in. We'll find where he's at, whether it's in the United States, whether it's in another country somewhere where she's sent him to. You know, there's no telling how many friends she made in the military when she was in there. That's the scary thing. And I've thought about that. And where these people live at and stuff, because of course you're not going to, I mean, when you make friends and stuff, you're in the military, you're not going to have friends that's just going to be from the same state, or, you know, probably not. Most likely not. Um, I I'm just wondering if they've thought about where she has been stationed at while she was in the military. Um, and trying to, I'm sure they have a way of finding out, and they will. They're trying to find out who her closest acquaintances was in the military. You know, I think it's important that we get that ruled out as well. But I fully believe that there's a 0% chance that he's with her mother. I fully believe that there's a 0% chance that he's with Seth's family. I know he's not, because I trust Seth, and I know, Seth wouldn't pull something like this. No, Seth is not that type of guy. He's a really good guy. He's just going through a lot right now. He's going through something that I would never wish on any parent, no matter who you are or how bad you have been as a parent. You don't deserve to go through this, unless you've done something with your child. Then you obviously, um, you obviously, yeah, you pretty much obviously know, that the situation is not going to end very good. And you will be held accountable eventually. And that is something that those few parents that do it to their kids and stuff have it to live with for the rest of their life. And the same can be said for children that do it to their parents. They have it to live with. My teachers always told me when I was in school, and so did my grandma. She said, I'm telling you now, as a kid, while you're a kid, you got one foot in that door and you got one foot out. It's up to you whether you want to put that other foot in there or whether you want to keep both feet out. And to me, those are words of wisdom. And I think that's the way that every parent needs to raise their child, and they need to raise them like they should. No child should ever have to live in a household environment that Sebastian had to live in when he was at home. Okay, I mean, it's despicable. It's disgusting, and it's just downright ugly. And what I'm about to say is, my spouse, he's autism. He's autistic. And he has tried to run away a couple of times. But that was always when he was stimulated. Like we were getting a disagreement or something, and then, to them, it's to somebody that's autistic. They have sensory issues touching. They have sensory issues, you know, they pick up stuff quick. And if they feel like that you are trying to argue with them, they will get a little bit angry, and they can, I mean, they can walk out. My spouse did. He did that. But what did I always do? I immediately put down everything. And I get in my car and I go right behind him until he gets in the car. That's called caring about someone. To me, if Katie Lynn Proudfoot really wanted to find Sebastian Rogers, why, when at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, when she heard that thud, why did she not go up there and check on him? She didn't check on him. It's just, well, sorry about that. He didn't have it upstairs. Not that I know of. She didn't go check on him. What kind of parent wouldn't? I guess maybe she was just laying up there on the couch, watching the Netflix movie, and she's too caught up in it to go check on her child. Look, I have I have all kinds of streaming services on my Roku, okay? So if my spouse would fall in the bedroom, I would hear it. I would immediately pause my video and I would go check on him. But why didn't Katie do that? It's because she didn't give a damn about Sebastian. I'll tell the truth about that. And neither did Chris. And that, to me, it's sad. It really is. And the fact that this case has gone on for this long, and knowing that they most likely know and hold the key, to me, it's just, how long can two narcissists let it go on? When it comes to a narcissist, they don't have no empathy. They don't have no sympathy. They don't care about what you think. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about whether they hurt your feelings or hurt you physically. They just don't. And it's a mental personality. And in fact, it's part of cluster B personality disorders. There's 4 cluster B personality disorders, and it's in the dramatic and erratic, and irresponsible personality disorders. And I'm not trying to say I'm a psychologist or nothing like that right there, but I do know, reading through a lot of mental health and stuff, over the years, online and stuff, and just trying to get to know people that struggle with mental health, and what they go through, I've always found that interesting, and then, I also watched this channel, Todd Grande. He's a licensed, I think, psychologist in Delaware, and I think he's one of the leaders, the top notch psychologist in the state of Delaware. He has a YouTube channel. He's really good, and he does cover crime cases, and he gives his thoughts on it and what may have been the cause of the crime. And those of you that are in crime stories, I highly suggest that you go look at his channels and stuff. And he's made a lot of videos about stuff like this. And I think I can't remember right offhand, but I think he put one out about Candace and Don Wells. I'm not sure, but I think he did. He puts out at least one video every day, so it would be way down the line if it's on his channel. But the thing that bothers me is about the Sebastian case is having to sit here, and watch a grieving father crying his eyes out, getting out there from day one and searching for his child, and having the whole entire community in there searching it was just so emotional. And then watching Seth's interviews and stuff, some with the media and some with content creators, and the tears that this man has shed since February the 26th is probably enough to fill the Atlantic Ocean, honestly. And it's just so sad. It's just, and the fact that it just doesn't seem to bother Chris and Katie at all, especially Chris, leads me to a path to believe that he had a little bit more to do with it than it's being told. Now there's also this possibility too. It's possible. It happens, and it's sad that it does. But when we're talking about somebody like this, is it possible that he told her that if she didn't put Sebastian away, that he would put both of them away? Because when I go back and I look at Nina's video, I see, and my ears hear, violence and criminal activity by him and Katie against Nina, especially him, because Nina had to live with him. And then here Katie comes up and tries to basically kidnap her child. And that brings me to say this right here. If she would do that to Nina, what would she do with Sebastian? If she would try to threaten to kidnap Nina's child, where would be the boundary that she would, what kind of boundary would it set and would it take for her own child? It's probably very low before she explodes. I mean, I'm just wondering if the Sumner County Sheriff's Office has even thought about having a forensic psychologist. I know there's nothing you can do at the house now because it's probably been cleaned several times since this happened. But there is no way that a child goes missing without his shoes on and there's no trace of scent. It just, you can't make me believe it. That tells me that she or somebody had to carry him out of the house without touching the ground, or outside the ground outside, that is. I watched the full episode of E.T.'s. I'm not, I understand he's got autism too. I did watch the whole entire thing. It was 5 hours almost, and he does. Truth does have not. I mean, he is associated with not the best people in the world, believe me. But that interview that he had with Chris, if you notice, Chris rejected the blame and then tried to deflect it right back on E.T., I think it is. So I just, and another person I don't trust, and he's got me blocked on Twitter, and that's Nick Barris. And there's no, what kind of news reporter, if you've got questions about a case that's, that's like this right here, the best thing you could respond back to would be, is we don't have any further updates. Instead, you block the person. I don't understand it, and I'm glad I don't live in Tennessee because I never would live in Tennessee. I have done some vacations to Tennessee before, but honestly, I don't plan to go back to Tennessee. And spend my tax money in Tennessee, spend my money in Tennessee, and it go to the state with taxes and stuff, sales tax and stuff. That to me would be supporting a state that just really don't care about children and the safety of children. Look at Summer Wells and then look at Sebastian, and I think there's been some more cases out there in Tennessee. It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's absurd. And TBI just seems to never find not one, it seems like. To me, that it just don't make sense. I don't know. I don't I don't know who leads the TBI, but I'm sure glad I don't live in their jurisdiction. So therefore I don't live in Tennessee. I'm nowhere close to Tennessee. And I don't want to go to Tennessee right now and spend my money in a state that supports stuff like this. And I know the residents don't. The residents, and then this case has caused people to have to leave their home and stuff due to communicated threats and threats against their life and stuff. It's just absolutely stupid. And then CP and KP doing Bullhorn Betty like they did, it was just absolutely wrong in every aspect. And it was all about to manipulate and control Bullhorn Betty and Seth's team, and Seth too. And anybody who disagrees with them, who's not on their side, to silence them. That is what truly I believe that is what that was about between the Proudfoots and Bullhorn Betty was to just show just what kind of people they really are. And the truth will come out. It will come out, and as each day goes by, all we can do is pray that we're one day closer to finding Sebastian. And if I had a child and it was my child, I think Seth's doing pretty damn good to be the man that he's being, because there's a lot of other dads out here that probably wouldn't have been quite as nice towards Chris and Katie. There's a lot of them that wouldn't be. So Seth holding up through this, it's just, I am amazed, and I just give him so much congratulations, for living every day by the grace of God to find Sebastian. And, the only thing I can tell you to do is, if you watch these people that support the Proudfoots, don't waste your time on it. Don't. It's a complete waste of time, and it's to try to completely derail the situation, and it's to completely try to stop from finding Sebastian. So, I think it's important that you I mean, I can't tell you what to do and stuff, but I just think that it's probably best to refrain from those kind of people because they're criminals. They're downright criminals. And just because they're criminals, they want to make other people criminals too. So, and that is exactly what Katie and Chris is out to do with Betty, is to, they want her into jail. They want her thrown under the bus. And I don't think they're going to get what they want. I just don't. And in fact, I think this is going to blow up in their face, and I hope it does. I don't know where I got, I mean, it was my understanding that there was something coming out on the 6th of January or something about a grand jury or something. And then people was telling me in the chat group that in my chat group on Facebook that it's not true. I don't know if it is. I'm just looking, just wanted to try to get some clarification as to if a grand jury is looking at this. They're probably not going to tell anybody, probably not even tell the news, especially Nick Barris, because I don't think Nick Barris wanted that video dropped to start with. But where the Sumner County Sheriff's Office is wrong at is not keeping the public up to date. They should have, when a child goes missing, they should give a weekly update. And the reason why, and another reason why I say that is, Sebastian's not the only, I'm sure not the only child that lives in that neighborhood. And what if this guy, whoever did, I mean, if Sebastian did get kidnapped or something, whatever, or if he went off with somebody, who's to say that this person wouldn't go back to that neighborhood and do it to somebody else's child? And that's why I say it's so important that, that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office should have kept that community up to date at least one day a week. And they could have took time out of, at least 10 minutes of their precious time out of the week just to at least give us an update. To me, giving us an update saying that we still don't have any further leads right now, at least you're giving us clues and stuff. I mean, not clues, but you're telling us that, that we're still going through the investigation. But what the Sumner County Sheriff's Office did was they went completely silent for months and months. I think it was about 6 or 7 months or so. And then they released something, I don't remember what it was, but and it was like a huge relief, and we heard something, but it was the same news. We haven't found anything new. But I don't, like I said, I don't trust anything Nick Barris says, because Nick Barris is going to line himself right in with Eric Craddock, and that's the truth. And maybe I'm just praying that the Sumner County Sheriff's Office is not trying to play games with Seth, to keep him, us from looking for Sebastian, because we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop spreading the word and his name and getting out there that, he needs to be found. He's loved by his dad, and he needs to be found. It's really, really rough. And I know that the holidays just had to be absolutely horrible for Seth. I I know it. Um, just had to absolutely be horrible. I'm hoping during those days, he was spending time with people and stuff. I think he went to Tony's or something, and he got through under the bus for that. I think my message to Seth is, don't care about what the Proudfoots, and their content creators say about you. You're doing the best that you can, Seth, and that's my message to Seth. To find your child. Don't let them get in your way. We're not going to let them get in our way. We're not going to stop until we find Sebastian. And we're going to keep on, and we're going to keep on, and we're going to keep on keeping on until Sebastian is found. If I was to see where I live at somebody that looks like Sebastian at a store or no matter where it's at, I'm dialing 911. Because I think that, a person that looks almost just like Sebastian, sort of like the kid did in the mountains of North Carolina. I was shocked that wasn't him. I actually really was, because it looked just pure. I mean, it looked like his twin brother, but or if Sebastian had a twin brother, it looked like him. I mean, you're not gonna get much closer to looking like him than that. And I think I think authorities know. There's a lot of people out here that does look like Sebastian, and but they got to nail this down. They got to make sure that it is Sebastian. And they can do that through DNA. If they suspect that it is Sebastian, they can have the person, see if the person's willing to do a DNA check, and then whoever he's with, if it's him, they're in hot water. But finding Sebastian is the main goal and the only goal. Seth posts great pictures of him. He makes videos of great pictures of him, and it's like you just want to just reach out there, and just give him and Seth a hug, no matter how far you are away from him. I mean, it's you just get that feeling all the time, My heart really breaks for Seth and Sebastian. It really does. But I don't even know if I truly believe that he was in Memphis the night before. Says he was. But he got home at 1 o'clock, and I did a Google on the distance from Shackleford Island to Memphis, and it's about a 3.5 hour drive, something like that. If she called him at 6 o'clock in the morning or 6:30 and told him what had happened, what would a normal person do if they were in Memphis? I would be like, I'm dropping everything but the keys and my cell phone, and I'm gone. I'm going home. Even if I was a stepdad, I'm going home. Calling my boss, look, something major has happened in my family. My stepchild is gone missing, and I'm going home. You can fire me. If that's what you want to do, fine, you can fire me. But it took Chris to 1 o'clock to get home. That is a red flag to me, because it's not a 7 hour drive from Shackleford Island, Tennessee to Memphis. It is not. You can Google it. It's about a 3.5 hour drive, and probably depending on what part of Memphis that you're going to. If you're going to East Memphis, it's probably a little bit shorter. Because if you go west of Memphis, you're automatically in Arkansas. Just like if you going south of Memphis, you're automatically in Mississippi. And then it's my understanding that his campground wasn't in Tennessee. It was just south of the Tennessee Mississippi border in Mississippi. And he had like one or two, he had like 2 different campgrounds, probably got more than that now, but where he knows where to park at, his camper at and stuff. But if it had been me, when my wife called me and told me that that my stepchild, that her son just went missing, and that was said my stepson just gone missing, I'm calling into work and I'm telling work, look, if I'm at work right now, I got to go, or if the day is about to start, look, I'm not gonna be able to work today. Something horrible has happened at home. My child has gone missing, and we can't. And I've got to go home. Instead of him doing that, he did not. He didn't come straight home. No way, because. And for him to get home at 1 o'clock, he was in no rush to get home. In fact, he was. There's probably. Let's see. He's out of line by 3.5 hours, because it's 3.5 and 3.5 is 7. From 6 o'clock to 1 o'clock, 6 a.m. to 1 o'clock p.m. That's 7 hours. So he says it takes 3 hours and 37 minutes. Well, what happened during the other 2 hours and 23 minutes, Chris? What did you do? Did you just get up in the shower go get a shower and go out and have a meal and stuff, and do all your stuff and close down the camper and stuff? I understand that the camper had to be closed down and stuff, but all this other etc., I don't think you had to do. It don't take 2.5 hours to put everything away if you've got a camper. It just doesn't. I know it. My mama's had one. I've seen it. It don't take that long. It does not. So what happened during the other 2 hours and 23 minutes? Think about that, folks. Think about that. That leads me to believe that he wasn't in Memphis. That's just my opinion, allegedly. And everything I say that I'm saying is allegedly. But I don't understand how that here in my state, just saying that something, like that happened at 6 o'clock, and in the morning, well, you didn't get home until 1 o'clock that evening. Oh, you would have probably been heavily questioned by the law enforcement here, because we do not believe in defunding the police. Not here. We believe in fully cooperation with the law. And if one police officer or one sheriff's officer switches to another county, we're ready for another one. But it's that extra 2 hours and 23 minutes that raises the red flag real high to me. Think about that, folks. There's been some satellite imagery, allegedly, that there was a pickup in his parents' yard during that week, I think, or it was during that week. It was covered up by a tarp, a car tarp, whatever you want to call it, car body case, to protect or cover up your car and stuff. To me, it looked just like that truck. The shape of it from the top, it's hard to see, but it looks like a truck to me. And it looks like it looks like one of the ones that he would drive, like his, should I say. But you can tell, because you can't tell exactly because you can't see what's under the cover. But I believe he was in Gallatin, Tennessee for the vast majority of that week, let's just say. Allegedly. But the sooner that we find Sebastian and get this over with, let's hope and pray to God that it all ends good for Seth and all of us, and that he's found safe. There's going to be charges against somebody. Whether he's found safe or not, either against the mother or the stepdad, or against the people that they found him with. If he's alive, they're still going to be in trouble. Somebody is still going down. But if he has been unalived, well, that changes the whole complex. that is a very, very serious, different topic. I hope for the best. I really do. I don't lose hope. Every day that goes by, I don't lose hope over finding Sebastian safe. That's not saying that I trust somebody that Katie allegedly might would have sent Sebastian to. I don't trust her no more than I can. I don't trust Katie no more than I can throw a touchdown pass from the 50-yard line. And I've never played football. That's how much I trust Katie. Zero, none. But I do have hope that we will find him alive. Just, we want it to, as much as we want it to be as fast as possible. Sometimes this lasts for years. But I think if he's not found, if Chris and Katie ever have a severe marriage problem and one backs out from the other, somebody is going to drop the ball. Now, you can best believe that. I believe that if they was to ever get so mad enough with each other that they was to separate, somebody would drop the ball, because Chris has a long history of not being able to hold women. Long history. Somebody's going to drop the ball on somebody if they were to split up. That's my belief. But let's hope it don't take that long. Let's hope it's within the next couple of days. I know I had to have surgery back on March 30th, and I told my spouse, I said, hopefully by the time I'm out of the hospital, this will be solved. And that was my hope. And I get out of the hospital and stuff, and it's still not solved. And I was only in there for like 4 days, and that was a huge disappointment. And I think it was during that time frame that Sumner County Sheriff's Office, they went quiet for months and they didn't do anything for the public to notify the public of anything. So you basically didn't notify the public on whether it's safe to let your child go outside or not. In my opinion, that is a complete and utter failure of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. And anybody that lives in Hendersonville or anywhere in that county, we're probably scared to death and still are, because we just don't seem to be getting closer. Or maybe we are. Maybe the walls are starting to close in. Let's hope. That's all we can do is hope that the walls are closing in and the profits are getting tight. And, you know, there's been a lot of red flags. And I just want to know about that extra 2 hours and 23. 2 hours, 3 hours and 23 minutes. What happened during that? What happened? 3 hours, 37 minutes, 7 hours. Yeah, that would be, instead of that being 2 hours and 23 minutes, it would be 3 hours and 23 minutes. I was wrong about that. So what happened during that time frame? That even raises the flag a little bit more. I got my timing wrong. I apologize for that. What happened during that, allegedly speaking, what happened during that 3 hours and 23 minute time frame? That's what I'm going to close out with tonight, people. And glad you got to meet my dog. She's asleep now. I hope everybody has a happy New Year tonight. And let's hope for a better 2025 than we had in 2024. Let's hope that this is the year we find Sebastian, and hopefully it's early in the year. And we find him safe. But Happy New Year, everybody. Don't misbehave too much tonight. I know a lot of you's going to want to have a couple of drinks and stuff, you know, nothing wrong with that. I may do the same thing. But contain yourself. Don't drive. Don't drive. The law's going to be bad. You know that. Don't drive. Get what you're going to get and take it home, and don't drive. Don't try to go to the Waffle House after you're done drinking. It's not safe to drink and drive. That's just the bottom line. Y'all stay safe, everybody. Y'all have a happy New Year, and I look forward to talking to you sometime in the next day or so. I may do a video tomorrow. I may not. Just depends on what I got to do. I hope you like my video. If you like my content, and if you like my content and how I'm covering the case, just hit the like and subscribe button. And Happy New Year, everybody. God bless you and be safe.